winner for action adventure has gone on to win Game of the Year. So this is a big one. And the winner is The Last of Us Part 2.
The post-apocalyptic setting has been done many times in video games, but what The Last of Us does differently is it uses its post-apocalyptic world, it uses the stealth elements of its gameplay, and it uses the zombies or clickers as a vehicle to tell a much more complex, more personal, and more human story about the best and the worst of humanity. The series is loved by hundreds of millions of people. There are an endless amount of cosplays, fan art, music covers, short films, and even people getting tattoos. Also, the game series has a lot of memes.
You hallucinating this shit.
Is this you talking or is this you talking or is this me talking or is
It's
this
a valid point.
If it were you or me, Joel would be fucking wood already. Well, I guess we're both gay then.
God damn it. Well, we don't even know for certain.
What are you doing?
That's a valid point.
What are you doing?
Given the game's popularity, it's not surprising that The Last of Us was gonna turn into a movie someday. But it hasn't yet. And whether that's a fortunate or unfortunate thing, we'll never really know. But what we do have is an HBO series that, as of this recording, is currently in development. So here's everything we know about The Last of Us HBO series so far. By the way, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon for more of this content. It really helps support the channel. Now, we have a ton of info on who's working on the show. The show is being written by Neil Druckmann, who is the creative director behind The Last of Us, and Craig Mazin, the creator and writer behind the HBO miniseries Chernobyl, which got a ton of great reviews. Now, technically, Druckmann hasn't written a TV show before, but I'm not too worried about that.
And the Writers Guild Award goes to Neil Druckmann for The Last of Us.
Writers Guild Award for Outstanding Achievement in Video Game Writing goes to Neil Druckmann for The Last of Us Left Behind.
Knowing that he's one of the writers of the show is a pretty big deal, because some of the biggest criticisms we have of movie adaptations of games is the disconnect between the creators of the game and the creators of the movie. So since Craig is working directly with one of the writers of the game, we shouldn't have that problem with this show.
Failure is not an option.
Now, the genius composer behind The Last of Us games, Gustavo Santaolalla, will also be the composer of the HBO series. Another person working on this is Carolyn Strauss, who was the executive producer behind Game of Thrones and Chernobyl. The director Kantemir Balagov, who directed the movie Beanpole and won a ton of awards, will also direct the pilot of the show. So there's some big names attached to the show.
What, we some kind of Suicide Squad?
Which tells me they're pretty confident with the script. And maybe see that the series could be something special. Or maybe they just think they're gonna make a lot of money.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
The show stars Pedro Pascal as Joel, who is the Mandalorian in The Mandalorian, and Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones. It also stars Bella Ramsey as Ellie, who was Lyanna Mormont.
You expect me to put a spear in my granddaughter's hand?
I don't plan on knitting by the fire while men fight for me. I might be small, Lord Glover, and I might be a girl, but I am every bit as much a northerner as you.
Now, details of the plot are pretty light, but we do have a pretty good direction on where they're going. According to GamesRadar, the premise of the show will follow the same premise of the first game. Co-creator Craig Mazin also stated that the changes that we're making are designed to fill things out and expand, not to undo, but rather to enhance. It sounds to me like the story gaps in the first game are getting a hell of a filling. Last year, co-creator Craig Mazin said development on The Last of Us TV show would begin immediately after the release of The Last of Us Part 2. That means development of the game should have been going for at least a year. So it could mean that we'll see the first episode in late 2021 or maybe early 2022. Unless World War III happens or someone ends up taking over the world.
China. I have to have my China. China, because China.
The HBO TV show isn't the game's first adaptation to another medium. The first one was the comic book The Last of Us American Dreams, written by Neil Druckmann, that's meant as a prequel to the first game. There was also a movie in the works that was later cancelled. The movie was supposed to be written by Druckmann and produced by Sam Raimi, who worked on Spider-Man, but in November 2016, Raimi stated that the film was at a standstill after Sony had a disagreement with Druckmann, and the movie was eventually cancelled by Sony. It sounds like Sony just didn't see Druckmann's story as a story worth telling. That was terrible. By the way, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon for more content. And also consider supporting me on Patreon. I am so excited for this show to happen. I really hope we don't end up getting disappointed. We need to have hope. We need to have hope that this is gonna be good. It needs to be good. Not everything has to suck, you know? Some things could be good. There's an opportunity here to make something special. One of the greatest heroes of all time, Elon Musk, once said, "It's better to be an optimist than a cynic." So Elon, you better be right on this. You better be right on this, because I swear to freaking God, if you're not...